Maybe you know me from my other channel. I do have another political channel, but this is my non-political channel. I am not some kind of idiot with no life who just comes on here and makes different channels. I only have two channels. One is a political channel and one is non-political. I'm not going to pretend that both aren't me. This is my non-political one. Anyway, folks, I didn't come here to talk about that. I came here to discuss, in my view, what are the best and worst cars of our time right now, and I'd like to discuss automobiles of this year. What cars to look for, what cars not to buy or to look at or to look forward to, whatever you want. All right, I'm going to begin right now. A lot of people are concerned about the economy. A lot of families are hurting. They can't afford to buy a BMW 525 or a Lincoln Navigator or whatever. But they want something that is going to cost them less money than one of those cars. Your best bet, honestly, if you want to be economical, if you have a large family, your best bet is probably to buy, well, it depends. If you care about gas mileage, I can't help you because all the hybrid, all the, then whatever, go out and buy a Ford, what is the Ford Escort or Mercury Mariner, whatever. I'm more into the, typical stuff. But if you want a really good car, SUV, for a family of, 4, 5, 6 people, but you're on a tight budget, you may want to look at the used Ford Explorers. Now, I recognize that, Ford has sometimes been, its reputation has been up and down, but right now Ford is a good company. The Explorer has always been a relatively good car. The only thing, you may, something in your mind may be telling you, well, this hasn't always been a good car. And the truth is, there's nothing wrong with the car, it's just the tires were faulty back years ago. But honestly, it's been a good car, and the Ford Explorer, it doesn't get the best mileage, but it's certainly one of the better cars. They're reliable, they're safe, they're comfortable, they're good. It's a good family car. My only complaint, well, no, I really don't have any complaints. My only complaint is when you do have passengers in the back seat, you may have to move up your seat in the front a little bit because it can get a little cramped. It's not like a huge SUV. It's actually the same size as most sedans, but it is still a good car, and once you get enough legroom, it's a comfortable car as well. If you're looking more into sedans and you want something on the affordable side, you have, it depends. I mean, if you want to be really economical, you gotta, you have the Ford, I guess the Ford Focus, the Honda Civic, the Toyota Corolla. You want to get a little more expensive, go up a little bit. You have the family sedan class. A lot of the family sedans today are actually pretty sporty, believe it or not. There aren't that many nerdy, geeky, boring family sedans anymore. So you have, I think the best two are obviously there's a couple. There's the Chevy Malibu, car of the year in '08, which is actually considered to be one of the few General Motors products that are, pretty good reliability-wise. The Honda Accord has been consistently reliable, and it's grown up a bit since it first debuted back in the '70s. And the Mazda 6 now is a really good car. I don't know, between these three, how do you choose? If you're gonna lease, Chevy Malibu is a good car to lease because you're not buying it just in case it does have problems down the road, because General Motors are great cars to lease, but once you buy them, you're in trouble. Honda Accord is a good car to own because it lasts a long time. I find that Honda now, they have a comfortable cabin. My only complaint is with the leather seats, it's much too stiff in the new one. The Mazda 6, I have not been in the new one, but I can tell you that it's a great value. I mean, you get a good sporty car. The new one looks roomy. It looks like they use quality materials. I'd have to actually go in it to be in it to see. The difference that you're going to find between this Accord and the previous one is this one actually does handle the bumps better, and I'm not really sure why, because they try to give you the tightest handling. So I mean, the engineers must be very smart over at Honda. General Motors is known more for being, sloppy handling. I don't know if that's still so because people today like tight handling, so the Malibu may be very well have tight handling. The Mazda I know is a really sporty car. Get a little more expensive. I think if you want like the entry level for the luxury brands, I'd definitely go with the Lincoln MKZ. You wouldn't even have to ask me twice. I mean, is it, even though it's a relatively small car, it has enough room for the average person. The leather is extremely nice. It's designed. The interior looks really nice, and really, it's like, it probably, it drives like a sports car, but it's really a luxury car. The seats and the ride is kind of more like a luxury car, even though I'm sure, the driver would probably say it's more of a sporty car. It handles pretty well, from what I hear, and it's really a good car. You go a little more expensive, you have the Lincoln MKS, which is new, but it looks like one of the best cars on the road, if not the best. Lincoln has had to get a car that would appeal to younger people for a long time, and I think they finally did it. You want an SUV, a luxury SUV, luxury SUV, I mean, definitely Chevy Tahoe if you lease, Lincoln Navigator, or even the Honda Pilot with leather is not a bad car, the new one. The last one was so-so. This one's wonderful, excellent. Let's see, convertible Honda S2000 if you want two-person, Ford Mustang if you want something more, classic-like, but a really sporty car. The Chevy, the Corvettes are always nice to have. Porsche builds a great car. Always builds a nice car. This is my take on if you want, the Toyota Avalon is a nice car, believe it or not. Toyota right now is going through some problems with reliability, but the Avalon remains. The leather in the Avalon is just as nice as, I think Lexus is really a bunch of bullshit. They're really, some of them, the cabins are too small in some of them, and the Avalon is just as nice and it's less expensive and it's roomier, and it handles the bumps really well. It has a quiet, smooth pickup. So I don't know why somebody would, rule at the Avalon. It's a great car. And I'm sorry, but the Chrysler 300, the Mercury Sable, both are behind the Avalon, definitely. Anyway, let's go back to where I was. So, also you have around the $50,000 range, you have the sporty yet modest Acura RL, and you have the Volvo S80. The Volvo S80 is one of the most comfortable cars I've ever been in, sat in. Alright, what to be in, any other questions? I mean, the BMWs are good. Now, BMW is a good brand too overall. Now, I'm going to tell you what to be careful of. First of all, if you're in a tight budget, do not buy Hyundai or Kia. They're simply crap. And, I don't know how else to put it. They're crap. You go up a little more, you got to be careful of the Mercedes, because Mercedes are extremely expensive to buy. They break down after a while, and then the parts are expensive, and it's a real friggin' rip-off. Chrysler, be very careful of them. They have a lot of problems. GM, a lot of problems, except General Motors are great cars if you want to lease them, and even some of them are reliable. I mean, you should give it a try, because GMs are really fundamentally good cars. If you have to take it to the mechanic once in a while, so be it. If you have to take it a lot, then it's time for you to trade in a new car, and you may be upset that, oh, I got to sell this and I can't afford to buy another one, but you still get value out of it, so hopefully get some value out of it. If you're looking for a car for like an elderly parent or grandparent, whatever, it depends. If they're wealthy, Lincoln Town Car. If not, then the Toyota Avalon, the Mercury Sable, both very good cars. The Sable not as much, but I'd still recommend the Sable. The Town Car, though, ideally the Town Car, and the Marquis's okay. The Marquis's a decent car, Grand Marquis, Mercury, but the Town Car is the ideal one. And if you are on a budget and you want something that's, if you don't mind getting something used, the Town Car would still be good used. Those things last forever. And there's really nothing wrong with it. The Town Car is a great car, safe and stuff. Look, I'm a fan of sedans, and I like, everybody likes convertibles. Who are we kidding, But I'm not the biggest fan of SUVs. I mean, they're all over the road. They're high up, so you know you can tip over easily. And besides, folks, sedans are sportier. Let's face it, sedans are cooler. That's really just how it is.